I'm getting my own review. Are you guys excited? I'm excited. Now you get to see this in all of its glory. Okay, so they might not be actually here for you. What do you mean? Alright, so I hate to say this, but I think you've been replaced. How could he? But we've been together for a year? Maybe 2? I thought that meant something nowadays. Well, you see, I look a little bit more like the actual kaiju, so I might bring in more revenue. But I deliver a witty charm to the Rangers. What do you got? Not fabric arms? I see that. Okay, calm down, calm down. We're not replacing anybody. You're still going to be doing action figure newses. You're just here because you look better for review purposes instead of this guy. Aww, I just want a review too. You'll get one eventually. Don't worry about it. It's just these guys are a little bit more of the hotness, I guess, right now. You know, if you guys give us a bunch of likes for this video, definitely consider reviewing them, though. Just saying. Yeah, good luck with that one. Anyways, on to the review. Listen up, Rangers. Welcome to the Geek Chest. My name's Steve, and today got a special little review for you guys, because for starters, I'm sitting in front of the camera. We got the new toy background. Make sure I'm scooted forward a little bit more so I'm not smacking into things, because that would be disastrous. Also, I'm really sad right now because I'm missing a Predator. I don't know how I'm missing a Predator because nobody's really ever over except Arnez. I know Arnez already had one anyways, so I know he didn't take it. But I'm missing my battle damaged Scar Predator. He's somewhere. And then one of the tendrils for that dude, the clan leader. I thought it maybe fell into something because I had like a pile of accessories I used for videos. Don't know where it went. Kind of sad about it right now. Anyways, you guys are here for a review, which you guys may know. Got here these Zilla puppets that we use for the action figure newses, which has these little rods that I put in here just so he can move his hands around, make him a little more official. Now, the only thing that sucks about this guy is this one's 100% made for children compared to the other two I'll show you guys. So he's got a little slot here, and I can get my hand into there. It's not the easiest thing. For the most part, it's kind of like I get it the majority of the ways in there and then just work it from there, you know? And then kind of move the arms around. Yeah, sort of like this. Makes things so much easier. You can smack the camera and smack the dog. Don't you look at me funny? Yeah, you want some of this? Can't handle this. See? Who's a good boy? Something just fell outside my window and I'm scared. We got him, which is serviceable. Personally, I kind of like him because, again, after doing this, I can kind of work the hands a little bit, which I always like. I took out his little sound box because it was broken anyways when I got it. I actually have an extra one of these laying around just in case something happens. That I kind of wanted one that wasn't damaged. So what we have here specifically is the more deluxe puppets, which this one is the Zilla. These guys weren't officially Trendmaster. I probably should have looked up who actually made you guys beforehand. Manufactured by the Resaurus Company from 1998. So what these guys are is just rubber puppets. You can do the same thing. Move his mouth. Nothing too crazy. You can kind of make the snout move a little bit with your hand if you really tried. You get some expressions if you move your wrist around and kind of expand your knuckles on the inside. If you really get your hands in there, you can kind of like suck in the jaw a little bit. Make him look a little bit more duncy. Where he's like, yeah. And get a little bit of play with it. Sadly, you can't really do much with the hands even if you put a rod in there. Like, you can sort of wiggle them. That's about it. For the most part, they just kind of flop around. But if you really wanted to use this, it's a good possibility. This one, you kind of have to work on the side of the screen, though. So your arms were kind of hidden. That, or possibly put like a cloth over the back. One thing I really love about this one, though, is the coloring. It's still not quite Godzilla right. Because as you can see, it's a lot more toy accurate with the grays. You got a lot of the blues on top. Same blues on the bottom here. But what I always really liked is the nails were painted very well. His teeth look really nice. He's got a couple of scuffs because of just how old he is. Overall, still looks really good. He's got yellow eyes with the little kind of velociraptor slits, which again isn't quite right, but it's a suitable look. Oddly, his tongue's just a bright pink, but the rest of his mouth is in a fleshy tone. He's got a little bit of detailing for the color variety for the scales, but the actual like patterning on this thing is gorgeous. And he's always been one of my more favorite little puppets. And I almost kind of want to get another one just to repaint to make him look more accurate and use that one for, I don't know about action figure newses, but for something, because I always liked that he has arms. It's just, I guess, kind of figuring out a good way to get him to move around outside of maybe like detaching him and putting some cloth or something to make it a little bit more movable. But this guy's always been really cool. You can kind of shift the head a little bit if you really wanted to get him to kind of work. But the nostrils look nice. And the good thing is I'm a fairly large dude. Not like large, but still chunky, I will admit. Also, I'm 6'3" and got some pretty big hands, big feet, you know. And this guy goes out pretty easy. Now, it will get a little bit sweaty in there over time because it is just rubber, so it gets hot pretty quick. Also, the dorsal spines, forgot to mention, also look fantastic. He's got a little bit of dust on him. He's been sitting on top of a light upstairs. We don't really use the light, so he just kind of chills until I want to get like a mount and kind of stick him on the wall like a trophy. Now, the one that actually has the gimmick hooked up is the baby one, which looks really nice too. Now, the one thing I like is the eyes definitely look a lot more correct. For Zilla, anyways. Granted, it's just black with a little bit of a shine to it with the white and yellow, but I think overall it's a little more appropriate. Also, the coloring on it definitely looks a lot more accurate to the movie. With the greens and yellows. Got the blues on the back here. Starting of the dorsal spines look really nice. I love the jaw detail here. And a different color variety. His teeth are painted. Also, the inside of his mouth looks a little bit more lifelike. It's not super bright for the tongue. It's decently bright, but not super bright. Could maybe use a little bit more red. But it's got the fleshy tone on the inside of the mouth. And then same with the arms. Nails are painted very nicely. Coloring on the undersection of the tummies, done in a sand color. You get some black here for the little spiky bits. Texturing for the puppet for the skin looks really good too. With some really nice hard edges. And then this guy you can do mostly the same stuff with. He's a little bit easier to kind of work the underjaw a little bit to suck it in if you really wanted to. One thing is because he's got the gimmick in here, it's kind of hard to move, so you always just unscrew this part here. Is how you get the battery out. I'll show you guys in a minute because I actually have to swap it out to show Zilla because this one's batteries actually work. I say that as I try to demonstrate. Now it's not doing... There we go. I don't know why he shoots guns. Needs a little Mac 10 or something. And I think it's just the 3, if I'm not mistaken. And still pretty sweet. Again, kind of works pretty good, just like the Zilla puppy. You kind of have to have them working the side camera or get them a little close and upright to do the talking, to kind of hide your arm if you really want to use them for stuff. Again, kind of makes for a nice mounted display if you want to hook them on something and hang them on the side of the wall, which is something I'd like to do eventually. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So now I got to get a little screwdriver so I could take this out, get the battery out, and we'll see how Zilla works. One thing with swapping these out I actually really like is the voice boxes are a different color, so you know which one's which, which is pretty sweet. When taking these out, it's not super hard. As you can see, I just got a tiny little screwdriver, swapping the batteries out. So I know watch batteries are kind of a hot commodity around here. That's one way. That actually sounds really good. I just spit a little. He has 4 sounds. So he's shooting, exploding, stomping. Alright, we'll save the screech because I kind of want to hear it inside the mouth. So when getting this back in, I will say, it's a pain in the butt. So you want speaker end to go in first. This would be much easier if you had smaller hands, like a child. And you have to get it up into the roof of his mouth. And then kind of line up the hole here. As you'll see, I got the hole for the speaker box. And then somehow managed to get this in. Oh, I was going to say, did I do this first try? Because that'd be pretty impressive. Oh, I did. Awesome. Probably screwed it in one of the other speaker holes, but I don't care. It's attached. That's all that matters. Alright, so that's in there good. And then I will say, it sounds a lot more impressive if you don't have it in the puppet. I think that's the only bummer I've currently now realized. It sounds pretty solid when you got it out. Also, I just noticed he doesn't have much of blue there. But he's got the same thing going on the other side here, too. Alright, real quick, I'm going to put the other puppet back together and we'll conclude. I don't know why, I just always remember, like, well, when I put the batteries in this originally, because I've had the baby one for a while now. I know he's popped up in videos. The adults I haven't had for, like, he's actually a fairly new one. I think it was like at a local vintage toy shop. I just walked in there and just kind of seen him chilling on the floor, and I was like, oh, you're mine. It's usually what happens with a lot of Godzilla stuff, that or if I see anything cool in like Facebook Marketplace near me or something, I tend to try to grab it. Alright, he's all good. So to conclude, it's kind of weird trying to do this with 2 hands. Now it just looks weird. Now they're both talking in unison. They both work really well. I actually really enjoy these puppets overall. If you guys can get them for a pretty reasonable price, I would definitely hop on them. I know they can get kind of pricey nowadays, especially in the box. I know loose, I was usually finding them for like 20, 30-ish bucks for these guys, which definitely seems pretty reasonable for a loose guy. I guess it all kind of depends on how much you really like Godzilla and puppets, how much you want to pay, but I still definitely really like these. Personally, it's better than the other one that I use, but in terms of channel purposes, he works pretty well. If you guys would prefer, I wouldn't mind using this guy for news videos, because he definitely looks better than the other one, but I feel bad replacing him. So that'd be more up to you guys if you would prefer to have a little bit more of a realistic looking Zilla than the goofy little puppet. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So help us defeat those kaiju by headbutting them. Ow. Couldn't hit them because they just look like they're making out, and that'd be FBI stuff. Subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, pictures, Facebook. Guys, like keep up with the day with channel. Donate. We'll greatly appreciate it. We'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.